It is good to be back on your screens again. Greetings, viewers. Welcome to the Voice of UPSA News Network, coming to you live from our campus studios. My name is Michaellina Obeng Sabbah, and I'm doing this with
Budgie Princess Diana Ami. The Voice of UPSA News Network is proudly brought to you by Laundryville, your trusted laundry partner. Now, news in brief.
Ghana card and accreditation now mandatory for national service.
UPSA receives 150,000 Ghana cedis support from GLICO Group for faculty-authored book project.
Voice of UPSA donates dustbins, promotes clean campus initiative during their games and fun events.
The rising cost of tuition and its impact on university enrollment by Emmanuel Nkunu, Voice of UPSA Newsroom member.
Now the news in details.
Voice of UPSA donates dustbins, promotes Clean Campus Initiative during their games and fun event. The Voice of UPSA, a dynamic student media club of the University of Professional Studies, Accra, recently hosted its games and fun event on November 8th at the UPSA AstroTurf. This awesome event was a fun-filled afternoon that perfectly blended sports and its social responsibility, making it a memorable experience for all involved.
But it wasn't all fun and games. Voice of UPSA also made a thoughtful donation of 2 dustbins to support campus sanitation efforts and a step towards bigger goal of promoting environmental awareness. This gesture showed the club's commitment to environmental responsibility and promote cleaner, greener campus.
In the end, Voice of UPSA's Games and Fun event was a huge success, showing that a little creativity and teamwork, you can have a blast while making a positive impact. The event brought the Voice of UPSA family closer and reminded everyone that even small acts of kindness can make a big difference.
The events kick off with exciting games like football, chess, ludo, and Owari, with participants bringing their A game and showcasing their skills and teamwork. Laughter and friendly competitions filled the air, creating a lively atmosphere that got everyone in the mood for fun.
Now to our next story. UPSA receives 150,000 Ghana cedi support from GLICO Group for faculty-authored book project. The University of Professional Studies Accra received a financial donation of 150,000 from the GLICO Group to support its faculty-authored book project on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. The donation was aimed at promoting academic writing and supporting the development of quality educational materials authored by UPSA faculty members.
The Faculty Authored Book Project seeks to encourage lecturers to produce scholarly works that reflect local business practices and Ghanaian perspective in academia. The initiative also aligned with UPSA's vision to become a leading center for professional education and knowledge creation in Africa.
During the presentation ceremony, representatives from GLICO Group commended UPSA for its commitment to academic excellence and innovation. They expressed their belief that the partnership would contribute significantly to improving the quality of higher education in Ghana by providing students with contextually relevant academic resources.
The Vice Chancellor of UPSA, Professor Kweku Mensah Mauto, expressed profound gratitude to GLICO Groups for their generous support. He assured the company that the funds will be used judiciously to advance the objectives of projects and further strengthen the university's research and publication capacity.
Now to our next story. ITSA UPSA holds mental health and sexual health awareness program. The Information Technology Students Association of the University of Professional Studies Accra held a mental and sexual health awareness program on Wednesday, November 5th, 2025 to promote students' well-being and responsible living. The initiative formed part of the association's health outreach efforts to educate students on maintaining balanced lifestyle and making informed health decisions.
The program featured health screening, interactive sections, and expert talks on topics such as stress management, depression, sexual health, and HIV prevention. Medical professionals and counselors were present to provide guidance, testing services, and personalized advice to students, emphasizing the importance of early detection and health coping strategies.
Speaking at the event, UPSA executives underscored the need for continuous health education on campus, noting that mental and sexual health are essential to students' academic performance and overall quality of life. They urged students to take advantage of available campus resources and to prioritize both their physical and emotional well being.
Participants expressed appreciation to ETSA UPSA for organizing the event, describing it as timely and impactful. The initiative reaffirmed the association's commitment to fostering a supportive and health-conscious student community that values responsibility, awareness, and self-care.
Now to our next story. UPSA communication and public relations students boost local brands with PR campaign.
Third-year communication and public relations students at UPSA developed comprehensive PR campaign for local brands, bridging theory and practice. The students showcased their creativity and expertise in promoting brands like Super Drinking Water, Impampa Cereal, Kids Condom, and Jasta Rice, among others.
Each team developed strategic campaigns covering areas such as brand positioning, media engagement, event activation, and digital communication. The event held on November 5th, 2025, attracted several dignitaries from the university community, including the Vice Chancellor, Professor John Kweku Mensah Mauto, who commended the students for their creativity, innovation, and commitment to promoting indigenous brands.
The head of Department of Communication Studies, Professor Mrs. Ajwa Sikayena Amankwa, underscored the importance of experiential learning in communication education, stating that it is the cornerstone of UPSA's pedagogy.
The semester-long project was supervised by course lecturer Josephine Eduonu, who guided the students through all stages of campaign development. The exhibition served as both an academic exercise and a professional showcase, reaffirming UPSA's reputation as a leading institution that bridges the gap between classroom learning and industry practice.
Now we move on to our next story. Stanbic Bank executive urged corporate Ghana to champion responsible activism. The executive head of brand and marketing at Stanbic Bank Ghana, Mr. Mawuko, had called on corporate institutions to take a more proactive role in driving national development through responsible activism and strategic communication.
He made the call while addressing the sixth guest lecture series organized by the Faculty of Information Technology and Communication Studies at the University of Professional Studies, Accra. Mr. Afajinu stressed that businesses must go beyond financial goals and contribute meaningfully to shaping a more ethical and accountable society.
According to him, the private sector has a unique influence that can be harnessed to promote trust, transparency, and social responsibility. He urged corporate leaders to align their brand values with national priorities, ensuring communication reflects both integrity and purpose.
Mr. Afajinu further encouraged students and professionals to see communication not just as a tool for marketing, but as a force for national progress, capable of inspiring positive change and strengthening the bond between institutions and the public.
Now on to our next story. Ghana Card Accreditation Mandatory for National Service. The National Service Scheme, NSS, has launched a major crackdown on fraudulent registration and financial exploitation. Director General Felix Jemfi announced new measures to ensure transparency and accountability in the program.
Only graduates from GTech accredited institutions will be eligible for national service. Mr. Jamfi emphasized that institutions without proper accreditation will be excluded from the scheme. Additionally, all applicants must possess a valid Ghana card for registration and verification.
Biometric verification using the Ghana card will be required monthly through the service period, ensuring continuous eligibility checks. The NSS will also integrate its payments platform with the Controller and Accountants General's Department to prevent duplicate payments.
The new measures are expected to significantly reduce the number of eligible service personnel for 2025 due to stricter vetting, enhancing fiscal discipline, and ensuring state funds are allocated to only the legitimate beneficiaries. Now,
moving on to our last story. The rising cost of tuition and its impact on university enrollment. The rising cost of university tuition is a pressing issue affecting students and families worldwide. In Ghana and beyond, students are increasing fee schedules, making higher education less affordable and more stressful to pursue. This problem disproportionately affects low and middle income students, limiting their access to higher education.
The rising cost of tuition is not just a financial issue, it affects the future of young people and the development of the nation as a whole. One of the main causes of rising tuition fees is a decline in government funding to public universities.
In many countries, including Ghana, governments have reduced the amount of money they allocate to higher education, forcing universities to depend more on student fees to run their operations. For instance, in Ghana, students in public universities like University of Ghana, University of Professional Studies Accra, and the University of Cape Coast have seen tuitions and residential fees increase several times over the past few years.
The management of these institutions often explains that the increases are necessary to cover operational costs, especially as prices of electricity, water, and other supplies keep rising. A similar trend can be observed in Nigeria, where some federal universities recently announced significant increases in fees, causing protests among students.
Even in developed countries like United States, the cost of attending universities had grown rapidly, leaving many students with huge debts after graduation. According to data from College Board, the average cost of tuition at a public university in US has more doubled in the past 2 decades.
The effects of rising tuition fees are far reaching. Many students are unable to enroll or are forced to defer their admission due to financial constraints. Some resort to student loans or part time jobs, while others give up on their academic dreams altogether.
In Ghana, for example, some students have had to rely on student loans or even part time jobs to pay their fees, but even that is not always enough. The Student Loan Trust Fund has helped students, but always delay in disbursement often cause stress and uncertainty.
To address this problem, governments must take deliberate steps to make higher education more affordable. Increasing public funding for universities would help reduce their dependence on tuition fees. More scholarship schemes should be introduced to support students from low income backgrounds. Universities should also explore innovative cost management strategies and improve transparency in how student fees are used.
Efficient student loan system with flexible repayment plan are also crucial. Governments, universities, and stakeholders must work together to make higher education affordable and accessible to all. Education is a right, not a privilege, and it's time we prioritize it.
Many thanks for joining us here once again on Voice of UPSA News Network. I am Ainin Osei-Bright Jaden. Let's now do some external news. A government to reduce passport application fee to 350 cedis. In a move to make passports more accessible, the government has announced reduction in the cost of obtaining a Ghanaian passport, bringing the fee of an ordinary 32-page booklet down from 500 cedis to 350 cedis. Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa made the announcement, explaining that the decision is part of an ongoing effort to make passports more affordable and accessible to citizens. He said the measure also forms part of a broader initiative to improve passport delivery and security systems nationwide. As part of the reforms, the government is also introducing a chip embedded e-passport with enhanced security features, a 24-hour service operation, home delivery options, and a digital tracking system that allows applicants to monitor their applications online. And in some other stories, police offer 1 million cedi reward to suspects in Binduru killings. The Ghana Police Service has launched the Ghana Police Service has launched a nationwide manhunt for Mark Ajingri, a native of Binduru in the Upper East region, linked to a series of brutal killings that have claimed 8 lives in 2 weeks. Police have named him the prime suspect in the murder of 5 family members in Tamaso last Friday, with a 1 million bounty placed on his head. A child survived the attack and is in critical conditions at the Bogatanga Government Hospital. Ajingri is also wanted for an October 27 attack that left the 3 others dead in same districts. Police are urging public to call 191 or 1855 with any information as security forces intensify the nationwide search and local leaders appeal for a calm amid the rising fear in community. And that'll be all for external news. Let's invite Margaret Jakpasu for entertainment news.
This segment is sponsored by Laundryville, turning your stains into plains.
Good evening. Welcome to Entertainment Segment with me, Jakpasu Margaret. Now on to our first story. Ghana loses out in Grammy nominations as Nigerian dominates. Ghana artists including Shatta Wale, Black Sherif, Molly, Episode, and many others failed to secure nominations for the 68th Grammy Awards, despite submitting their works for consideration. Nigerian artists dominated the Best African Music Performance category with nominees like Burna Boy, Omale, and Ayra Starr. The ceremony will take place on February 1st, 2026 in Los Angeles. Now to our next story. Medical criticizes fellow artists for lack of unity and collaboration. Medical, the too risky hitmaker, is frustrated with the Ghanaian music scene, feeling that a lack of collaboration and unity among the local artists is hindering the music's global reach. He took to his X page to express his thoughts, stating that the Ghanaian music would have gone global if artists were to work together more effectively. Medical sentiments sparked mixed reactions from netizens, with some agreeing and some disagreeing. That will be all for entertainment. Back to our studios. And that's all for entertainment with Margaret Jakpasu.
And that is all for today's news bulletin on the Voice of UPSA News Network, coming to you live from our campus studios. My name is Michaellina Sabbah, and I did this with
Princess Diana Amikoti. The Voice of UPSA News Network is proudly brought to you by Laundryville, the trusted laundry partner.
Have a good evening.